name of the new record is Noir. It's I guess it's a French term for. I guess there's a few different meanings. I took it from the description of my favorite genre of movie, noir movies, film. The concept of the record kind of is a continuation of the story in the first album, in Hate Culture, where the character was kind of set on self-destruction, and it, you know, the last record leaves him in London, and this record picks up overseas over in London, and it's kind of I travel through the record in search of something new. It's a new way of living and hoping. The story of the albums are, it doesn't span a lifetime. It spans just a few days. Where at the time I made Hate Culture was at a really turbulent time in my own personal life, where I had a lot of things going, on in my relationship, the relationship area of my life that were pretty bad, and some things that were happening to me in my professional world, and it kind of just all came to a crash, and I went home. I left the tour. I was on tour in America, and I left the tour. I said, fuck you, fuck everybody, fuck this world, and I went home, and I made Hate Culture, and I kind of wrote this story about a guy that was really fucked up. So it doesn't span a lifetime. Some of the ideas span a lifetime of things that I've hated or grown to hate. But my songwriting process is I kind of flesh out the skeletons of the songs, music-wise, with a melody that I would like to sing in mind, but no lyrics. And once the album is pretty much done music-wise, then I go in and especially with Will in Control, I've gone in and wrote the whole album while I've been recording the vocals. So I think the reason why the stories have been able to run congruently together is because I sat in there for a few days and wrote the fucking lyrics as I recorded them. Wrote it as more of a story, and I wanted this album, Noir, to be more like a movie than anything. I'm not really inspired by music, especially current music. My favorite musicians that I still listen to are old ones, like Frank Sinatra, Django Reinhardt. I didn't just pick up the latest Under Oath album and decided to be in a band and write music. So I'm really inspired by Orson Welles and film and stuff like that. So I wanted the record to be more like a film than a song about this and a song about that and a song about this and a song about that, and then we got. From starting writing this album to recording, mixing, and mastering, I think it took 23 days. I recorded this album at I have a studio up in Washington called Sleepy Hollow Studios, and it's a creepy fucking studio in the woods in Washington.
So you just tracked it all, basically you engineered and produced?
Yeah, I produced and wrote and engineered and did everything.
Awesome. Who did the mixing and mastering?
I mixed it with this guy, Justin Armstrong, who has worked on a couple projects. He did a couple of Aiden things, and he did my last Will in Control album, mixing in the last one. He's great. I couldn't mix my way out of the paper bag, but he's great. Having a young audience it's probably not the best thing to put albums out like this. I'm not trying to cater to any sort of audience, and I'm especially not trying to warp the minds of children. But at the same time, I mean, yes, I have a fan base with the band that I've been playing in for a while, and naturally some of those kids are gonna check it out. But I'm not trying to cater to that fan base whatsoever. You know, I really dislike when a singer, goes off and does a side project and all the songs sound exactly like the band that he's in.
What's the point of the side project?
What the fuck is the point of the side project? Exactly. Everything about William Controls is different. I mean, from the way that I make the records, the instruments that I use for the records, the way that I sing on the records is completely different. And I am not trying to cater to that audience. But at the same time, I know that people are gonna listen, and some kids are bummed. Some kids are really, some parents are really upset. But
Can't please everybody.
I don't give a fuck. For me, for my career, it's always been a real love-hate relationship between me and the press. And it's either this guy needs to fucking hang for the noose in the deserts of Africa, but he needs to, or this is the greatest thing on planet Earth. Like I haven't, there's not very many writers who are like, well, yeah, I mean, I kind of liked it. It's pretty good. It's either fuck you or you're awesome. So, but I don't really fucking care about, I got too many things to do to give a fuck about some guy who's bummed. I don't give a fuck.